Yeah. Oh. I know them niggas looking so important on the show now. Waiting on you know what comes and goes. Hey, bottle, I put it in work. No, this shit ain't never been games. Girl, I used to think about you heavy. Now, I don't look at you the same. Hey, I flip my wrist like you know me. Ma, look what you son to became. Oh, you acted like you ain't know me when I was out screaming your name. Boy, a nigga hit a wave.
So this is me just kind of doing a relapse or a recap of from Saturday. This was the Rocky Mountain Drug Tested Regional. So this meet was literally just national and state records set. A lot of the big wigs weren't here just because this was meet. But all in all, it was a really good meet for me. I feel like my first meet period to do. Um, I don't know. It felt it was smooth. It felt really good. I did have some hiccups in here, but of course, if you don't fail at something, you'll never know where to get. So I'm pretty much just gonna go through this meet and just kind of let you guys know exactly what happened on this lifting meet. You start with the beast of all beasts when it comes to lifts, and that's the squat, the king of lifts. I don't know. My squats moved pretty good. Uh, I could have done a lot, planned it out a little bit better, but all in all, I'll just let you guys know what I was thinking at this point. This was my opener. My opener was 500 pounds. I've gotten previously. It's a pretty solid working set for me. Moved really smooth. I like the way it moved. I like the way it felt, and it opened up. This is gonna be a good meet. So the setup was nice. Felt good. Felt good on my back. Knees felt great. Big breath there. And there we go. Good lift all the way around. So the next one is 550. So I ended up doing 50-pound jumps on my squat just based on how the first one. I wanted 600. 600 was the number that I was shooting for on this one. So that was after 500 moved so smooth. I went up to 550. See how 550 felt. If I'd been a little bit more of a fight, then I probably wouldn't have went 600. Because I wanted to make sure I had something for the rest of the day. But here's 550 and it moves really pink. Big breath. I wasn't expecting 550 to move. So here's the big number. This is the one that I wanted to hit initially coming into this meet, and this is 600 pounds. This is a Utah State record. I was hoping to set more than just this one. But all in all, you go out there, you do what you can do. What happens, happens. 600 pounds moved really, really good. I feel like I could have had a little bit more in there, but I just to see where I was at, and it moved really, really good. All right, so this is the warming up for the bench. Bench is by far one of my worst lifts, mostly because of my football injury to my shoulder. But it's all in all one of the main lifts that I'm going to need to work on when it doing anything with powerlifting, anything upper body. Bench is definitely one of my weakest. Not necessarily just because of the shoulder, but I've never really been a really in high school and in college, I was never a really good bencher. When I 25, I was never really good with it. It's just one of those lifts that I genuinely don't like bench. It's definitely not my favorite. If there's ever an area that I need to work on the most, it is definitely my bench. This was 325 for my opener. The last meet that I did, my opener was 315. So I kind of wanted to keep it around that same general area number on bench that I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit 375, which you'll see on here my third attempt, and it was a no-go. So this is 320, 325. That moved really good. Here's 352. This was my going into the meet PR. I wanted to break this PR. I'm not really a big fan of PR, and I usually want to compete and get a PR. So that's what I was shooting for. 352, it moved really nice. Kind of had a sticking point that I hit, which definitely lets me know I need to work on a little bit more when it comes to my triceps, the pop coming from the legs. Here's the 375 where all in all, I didn't my guts. My setup was different. The way I held my breath was different. The way I held the bar was different. So it was one of those things where repetition is key. If you do everything for your first one as well as for your last one, you're bound to keep in motion. So this one was all in all, it was just a bad lift for me. But I definitely know what I need to work on when it comes to my bench press, strengthening up my shoulders, strengthening my tris, and then there was absolutely driving this whatsoever. Didn't even make it off my chest. The worst possible thing ever. This is I feel like it's one of my bread and butters, but I also see now that my grip is definitely one of the points as far as my deadlift. This was my first attempt at 600 pounds. 600 really nice. It's really smooth. This was my second attempt, my very first meet, and it moved really good. Decided to open up with it on this one. So this is the Dread. So this is the second attempt at 650. The first attempt slipped. I was trying to find a video. I couldn't find that video. But this was the 650 attempt that I did get. This was my third attempt for the deadlift and my at 650. So if you look, you'll see that my right hand starts to break. My grip in my right hand is not where it should be, ideally. But it's definitely working on a lot more grip work on deadlift days from this point forward.